What is up, crawler fans, RC enthusiasts, and social media surfers? I'm your boy Josh with Texoma RC, and that is the all-new Barebones Elite. Check it out, dude. Freaking crazy. I wonder why it's Barebones. Well, we got bones, but it's also the base kit for the new SCX24 Elite 2.0. This is the Barebones kit. Now, check it out, dude. We still have the cool cab. We just don't have any doors. So you can see that it has a catch here. Multiple catches will be included with the kit. So when they break, that you just put another one on. This front catch should not break. We're gonna catch the front first. Just push right down on here. Boom. There we go. Freaking A, bro. All right, dudes, we're on the freaking rocks. It's been a minute. So what happened, dude? The Elite doors just weren't working. Plus, I was driving the SCX24 Elite, and I just saw things that I was leaving on the table. So I chopped the rear of the skid. I will show that off. I should have shown it off. You'll be able to see it a little bit. But I completely chopped the skid. I relocated the lower rear links, and that's what I did. So, but then it kind of changed how it worked, and you know, we kind of struggled. So anyways, I redesigned parts, and you know, here we are. So what was going on with the doors? If I can figure out how to make the doors print well, then it will come back out. But basically, I got one to print finally after so like days of working at it, and I was like, cool. Then I launched it, and I didn't get another one like that, and it was just terrible. So frustrating. So if I can get that figured out, which I will spend more time on it eventually, I'll bring it out. So, but for right now, this is what we are doing to use the parts and just make it usable. The Barebones will be a kit, and then you can add the roof with little cage inside, and then also the hood as well. So I need to rework the hood. It's just a little bit high with the magnet or whatever, and I'm gonna see if I can bring that down. So, but those will be extras on top of the Barebones kit. So there you go. By the way, I just finished lowering prices on the Pro lineup. So if you didn't know, I switched to a 0.6 millimeter nozzle from a 0.4 millimeter nozzle, and you know, parts aren't quite as clean as they were. We're going to continue to work and perfect the new nozzle. By the way, I'm running too loose. I lost a band. If you go back and look when I was putting on the roof, I lost a band, but those bands were also wore out. So it was just the wrong rubber. They were deteriorating. So the clear seems to be the best, longest lasting. But I also have other bands than these. These were just old ones that were on here. But I will try to include those when the Elite, when you do get an Elite. So that you have all the correct bands. Also, this isn't the current boa riser, but the boa riser does use a rubber band, so it's much cleaner than the one that's on here. I changed the way I did it, and anyways, I just had a rubber band up over the top, so it doesn't look real clean. Anyways, I just had to get a video, dude. It's just so many things, so many changes, and I just had to show you what this thing is just absolutely freaking crazy. So it's running super duper loose, and it still does savage things. You can see that at certain points that it begins to, the back breaks too soon. It breaks over too soon, and it pops off the hill. So you'll see in the second part of the video, when we just run just the Barebones, I did put bands all the way around. It was a little bit tighter. I took them off today when I ran just for the front, and it was much better. So it doesn't need, the front does not need to have the tension. It's just the rear. It already needed the tension, and then when relocating the shocks, the links, the rear links, raising them up, it changed our geometry just a little bit, and we lost a little. So, you know, it's okay, dude. It's still freaking amazing, and just means we had to add a little bit of extra tension, and I cheated, and we're back to being this Elite 2.0. Barebones is an absolute, the super belly, dude. It is so badass. So anyways, I'm just putting it through like the stupidest chunk here. This is just the stupidest thing you could want to do to go across, you know, like just over a 4-inch rock through a 2-inch gap and then a back over up. You know, it's just so hard. Anyways, that's all I'm trying to do is just I put it through just dumb things so you can see it move and flex and do stupid things. So we're rocking a crazy ass color scheme because that's what happens when you're running prototype parts from whatever is on the printer at the moment. So you just got to get what you get. So did you see a little pop up right there? It's so freaking clean, dude. So this is again super belly. The Elites were supposed to be taller and higher, and this one does have the dropout wheel clear over. If you saw before when I was talking, it was kind of caught on the link right there. So I did try to raise the link up so that it would it would allow the wheel to drop over more. However, when you do that, then now you pull directly into the front of the skid, and that actually limits the full continuation of the dropout. Unless you just wrap it way up in there. So I actually had to rechange that again back to closer to the way I already had it. It's still modified from the Pro Link set. All right, so this spot right here, this little knob right there on the brown rock, okay, right, my passenger was on it, now driver is going over the top of it, wrapping around right there. Now belly's on it. That spot, I have been playing with this spot. It's so fun. By the way, it's even harder on camera, you know, but to try to go up and around and to wrap it around through the little ledge off to the right hand side, right? So you're trying to exit in as crazy a way as I came in, and I have almost done it, dude. But it's just what you put it in and just make it see it do it. You know, it's not that it was going to succeed, just to show you. Obviously I want to show off and actually complete it, but just to see it do what it does, it's just, you know, again, I know that it's not on video, but dude, going around that knob is absolutely nuts. And so it's just like one of my favorite parts. So you can go straight up. There's a couple ways that you can go up, but the most crazy one that I want to do and complete is to go wrap it across there. And it just takes so much attention. Everything has to be perfect. So again, we're a little loose, but we're still showing that it's still balling out at this loose, right? So freaking cool. And when you add bands, it's not like adding bands to your shocks. It's totally different than that, right? You do get it to be tense, but you always still get the dropout, right? Like you're just going to begin to lose flexibility a little bit as you tension up. But it's still going to maneuver and have the flex when you absolutely need it. But you definitely can make it act more like a traditional rig. But it will still have the dropout and because the axles are heavy enough to overpower, unless you just added too much. You're probably going to trip the screw or whatever if you added that much. But anyways, it's made to be able to hold it down, hold the cab down, and not pop off, not do this crazy stuff. So, but when you don't have enough tension, then the rear end pops too soon, and you look crazy. But at the same time, there are times when if it pops up, you couldn't have made it if it didn't do that. So there's like hella tricks with this thing to be run, when it is loose, that you can keep it tight, or like you can keep it down low. And if you understand how you know, there's just tricks with it to keep it stuck. And so you can keep it down in there, and then you can actually know how it works again and let it loose, and it will flop. You know, so you could do that. So right there, what happened, I hit the front differential. So that's why it popped up, you know, and so anyways. But at the same time, look, dude, like it actually is a benefit because it actually kicked the links out and over where they kind of would normally get hung up. You know, again, one of those things that you had to compromise somewhere. And so I went for a smoothest transition possible and suffer slightly on the top of, you know, the top edge, which if you just add a couple elbows, you're up and you extend it out and you're usually good. If you can get an elbow in. Sometimes it's nothing to grab onto and you just want. Cry me a freaking river, dude. Let's go. Maximus, dude. This is Maximus, the grapest ever. We're not running very grape. It's more like a tropical punch. You know, I don't know, dude. It's like a fruity surprise. But, you know, we will be back. Maximus will get the correct parts, and we will be back to being grape again. So that'd be rad. Maximus, the grapest of all time. SCX24 version, that is. By the way, we're running Lizard Pro Nano BAM. Awesome combination. This has become my favorite SCX24 I ever drove. I still love the brushed combos, for cheap and very lightweight rigs. But when you start going over really about 370, 380, 400 max, is really when you're going to start pushing the Enduro Pro even on 3S. You could go a little higher on 3S, but on a stock system with the Enduro Pro, going over about 375, 380 is going to be pretty much maxed out. So, for perfect, for good, absolute good feel and control, right? It's going to start to bog down going beyond that. It may already bog if you don't have a stock transmission, by the way. That is one thing with an Enduro Pro or any of the brushed motors. To have a great feel, you're going to need a stock motor with nylon gears, or motor transmission. Look at this climb right here. Never have I ever done this, right? I washed the range, I just hosed it down real quick and washed the tires and came out here. This is the only time I've ever done that. Typically, you have to run a car at speed to get up there. Never done that with a car ever. So even when this car is this loose, I'm talking about crazy loose, we still went up that savage climb that usually you can't get tires. Usually if you do get tires to push up, you flip over. That thing just went up. I didn't show off the side angle, so it was going on its, at an angle on its side. Just freaking crazy, dude. So good. So good. Did we get this one? I think we might miss this one. Nope, we got this one. I think I took the other ones off. I don't know. I did a lot of filming and just try to piece together some good stuff. As you can tell, I've been out of practice, so a lot of times I'm on the top of the screen. I thought I was looking up. Apparently not enough.
Should not be doing that.
So you'll see a lot of times, like right here, I'm already approaching the top of the screen. I can't fix it anymore. So I just have to zoom in, and if it goes tight, it goes up, it's just off the screen. And I hate it. It drives me nuts, dude. I've just not done videos that I've done that for too many times. So anyways, we're going to put it out anyways, just because I got to get a video out for you guys. I miss you dudes. I'm just, I'm failing you, dude. I'm sorry. So we will get back on track. I feel like I have a good, grip on things and where I'm going. We have good lower prices. I feel like we can, move this stuff. So why the price is lower? A big part is the nozzle. So we have a greater, success rate. I'm not failing as many parts, so that's awesome. And the parts come off faster, probably 20% faster. So, these two things combined, although the overall, they're maybe not quite as pretty as I'd gotten up to with the 0.4, but dude, they should be stronger, supposedly. We will see, time will tell to see if they're actually stronger. I did try to change the way that it prints so that it looks a little bit cleaner. It just kind of a cool design, but that could potentially also reduce strength. So if you guys have any problems, just holler at me. I will fix it as we're going through this. No worries, as always, dude. And anytime, dude, $5, dude. If you don't got it, or you need it, or you felt like I let you down, smash the freaking button, dude, and I will hook you up. I promise, dude. I will hook you up. And it's way better to do it that way than just tell me and having to try to remember something. And it's not when you don't click the button, dude. When it's on the button, I feel like I have to do it. So I gotta just nail it. Get it out of here. Whatever, dude. So freaking A, bro. I freaking missed you guys, dude. I miss putting on videos. I miss doing this stuff. But then, again, I'm supposed to do all these table videos. So last week, I was getting ready. When I was still doing the cab. And that's what I'm doing. That's what was on the table. I was, you guys saw me. I actually put in a ton of work and did video. The problem is I was doing finish work, and it's 15 to 20 hours of finish work to do one of these cabs like this with all the details. Not this one, but with all the details and how rough the sides were. And, just the sides, I don't know, just the doors. I probably spent 2 hours on the first one and, hour and a half or so on the second one. That's even using the sander and things like that on the flat parts. So just crazy amount of time. And so I ended up bogging down on that. And then in the middle of that, I broke the top of the cab on Maximus, the grape cab. And I was like, crap, dude. So I already had issues. I was, I just went to drawing and just pushed hard until it was done. And anyways, we're here. I'm very, very confident in everything, dude. The Barebones by itself is just, oh my gosh, bro. I'll put it down as low price-wise as I can. And, you know, I'm really hoping I don't actually screw myself in this, because I have absolutely no room. I'm going to, to make as much as I was making, I got to sell even more, you know, which is crazy. So, but hopefully with lower prices, more people will want to pay for it. So we will see. Means I got to do a whole lot more work to make a little bit of money. So that's freaking rad. So if you want to help a brother out, dude, pick up a freaking Slayer. Stop by the Etsy store, Texoma RC, no space, Texomark. Check it out, dude. Freaking A. Little flip down the hill. Now you can see how much tighter it is. So that was my first experience, not really ready for it. Definitely tighter. So you can see right there, when it's looser, you can pull the belly. So what that needs to happen is the front needs to loosen up, so it will clear the belly easier, and the back will stay tight and keep us flat on the hill. So I'm actually cheating, and I found that if you let the drive shaft actually ride up onto the rear shock mount, that it keeps us bent backwards, right? So it's actually, as it pressures up, it actually pressures us into the hill rather than pressuring, and when it pressures up, it will push up, right? We don't want it to push up right there. So right now we're basically, the rear end is basically locked in, so we are pushing into the hill with the belly, and it can't go any farther. So I have found that to be the absolute most savage thing to fix, you know, this compromise, right? The compromise of the skid to gain. So I gained clearance and slammed it down even more. I don't know how that makes any sense, but that's what we did. But this is the most awesome belly, super duper belly I have ever driven, because we have as much clearance as we need, right? And we're going down like this stuff right here. Like, you saw we popped before, no pop at all. And right there, you see how my wheels are turned? That's how, right there, see how, again, the wheels are turned? I'm keeping the suspension bound. If I don't, and I let both wheels and the pressure come on to both wheels evenly, it could potentially still pop up. So that's a way that you can let the front end run a lot, you know, your whole suspension to run less tension. You can just, you know, there are tricks, is what I'm trying to say. Gee whiz. So I'm just watching this. Right here, I caught the rear tire as I repositioned. I thought I had the line. This is one of my other favorite places out here. Just going back and forth around through these rocks and just twisting it around the best, you know, the most crazy I can think of. Just anyways. But going over this rock is something I always wanted to do, and I could not do it with a pro. So the front end is a little bit too tight right now in the video. Again, the front needs to be a little bit looser so that when we do pull up there, that it lets go earlier and pulls up and over. So it's not fighting, you know, that the tires aren't pulling out, you know, because the rock is kind of hitting into the link. So as the tire tries to wrap around, it's already kind of fighting around that, and we don't want to have extra of the band holding it. So there's a balance of how much we need to hold it down and how much we want there so that it will wrap around. And again, that's all going to be your terrain and your driving preference. You saw even at super loose, we could still run the range. You know, like when we pop up and look a little crazy every once in a while, but you still saw you could pull it off most of the time. Really, it was just the one downhill that we failed on. So, pretty freaking cool, dude. Pretty freaking cool. For as much flex and dropout as it was having, that's pretty freaking rad. But you can see we did struggle. So this, you know, normally we would be, well, I say we struggle. I just used that and twisted it in there. It's so freaking dope, dude. Oh, it's so fun. So that's one of those things when you run, you know, I kind of know, like I've done enough times that you like, you know, I have an idea of where I want to go, but then if it doesn't do that, then you have your plan B and how you got to come out. So that was plan B, not really what I intended to do. The first intention as I pulled onto the rock was to go up and over and up the hill in the background. But that's not what happened. So we just try to do that cool little trick and step out. Too fun. But that's the fun of just cruising around versus trying to drive a course or drive through gates, you know, just trying to be able to just see where it goes. That's my favorite part. Just see what happens, dude. Let's pull a trigger, find out what happens. And then you play follow the leader, and you see what else, and you have somebody else follow, or you follow them, and see what happens. And it's just fun that way, dude. Just enjoy it. It's just good times. So again, this is the part of the line that up the rock at the top. I love just putting it down through here, watching the tires, let it work, understanding where it's going to go as it weights and unweights. Just so fun, dude. It's like just meditation at the end of the day. And this thing is just like, oh my gosh, so fun. Like for a slow crawling, flow like water type guy like me, so I don't know that this thing is going to beat a mullet. I got to build another mullet. I don't think it's going to beat a mullet because the mullet has clearance and this does not. So where you were going to have to, like, how you're going to beat the mullet is going to be on the side hill or doing something super savage sideways. That's really what this is for. That's what a belly's for in general, is just running savage sideways, basically, in my opinion, because there's no reason for it if you don't. There's no reason. If you're not running super duper savage sideways, then there's no reason to be super duper slammed. You're just going to hit the belly all the time. So, but that's the reason for the dropout. That's the reason that I did all the things. And, anyways. So I have pulled the Elites for right now. I will be working on that and bring those out. But I'm also going to kind of go back. I need to do build videos, and we'll just start maybe at the beginning. Go back and do a stock swap. And then a Slayer Pro. I love the CR18P, and maybe it's just I didn't do enough builds, but the CR18P has gotten almost no love. So, things like that. So you're like, do I just keep it up, or do I have it available? Or I guess it's just print to I can have as many parts, but at the same time, don't want the site to be, too confusing. If we could do it, I'd probably just run the SCX because it's the easiest. Almost the best performer. We'll have to see. We're gonna battle, dude. I will build the TRX4 or the TRX4M SCX24 mullet, and we will battle, dude. Hell yeah, it'll be rad. It will be freaking rad, guy. So I will be redesigning again the TRX4M mullet, or just the TRX4M and mullet. Rail, so there will be 2 rails for this new Elite 2.0. The 1.0 didn't last very long, but it's basically going to use all the same parts. It's just breaking them up into individual pieces so that we can use all of it into the future, so that you could take whichever transmission and rail that you got, and you could do what's going to come next. So we have the Barebones kit. That's going to be the base, and right now the cab just clicks onto it. If I can work it out, there will be a complete cab, no bones. So it's actually a little bit more scalish looking. If I can pull it off, we will go, if I can pull it off. When I pull it off, we will add a body to it and these type of things, so whatever is going to be necessary to add a body to it, we will add those things, right? And it will be something that could just be added to the super simple small rail that is available for now, the SCX24. So, but that's what I'll be doing. I won't be doing an FCX24 skid or any of these things, or 18P. I won't be doing any of that in the Elite. The 2 best transmissions, SCX24 is obviously for SCX24. Pretty much all the rest of the axles pretty much should be run on a TRX4M. So really everything, you can pretty much build everything. I will have the parts, I guess, to do everything, but it will be based off of those 2 skids, right? You see either SCX24 or TRX4M skid, and because the TRX4M becomes the fix all for all of the faster axles, it's not near as cheap, and it's not near as low as the CR18P, but you can do brushed or brushless with 1 transmission. So you can do SCX or TRX4M for everything else, and that's how I will be doing it on the Elite from here out as they come out. So I guess I will do the other kits, but I'll focus first on the TRX4M and mullet and get those back up to par. So really all it is just redesigning the little bit of the rail that is there so that it looks like this one, similar, but you know, this one is chopped to fit this new skid. So it will look more like the bottom of the old one, which is really what it is. It will be the bottom of the Elite rail, just made adaptable so that it can run this and everything else, which is all that I did. So it's just the same bottom. I just chopped the top of it off, and there you go, dude. This thing is freaking crazy. I don't know, I was thinking of making a little bone hood or something. I actually dropped the rounded hood from the other cage. It looks pretty good, actually. So I may try to put that on there. Only problem is the magnets are reversed, so I have to pull the magnet off or do some. Actually, I need to put a new servo mount on this new boa riser. And put one that's actually current, because this was just I don't know, I went through a lot of changes since this one, dude. A lot of changes around here, guy, but it's hard to keep up with just changing parts, you know? Like, once you make the change, you don't have to necessarily put on the car to see, okay, is this what I want? You know, sometimes it was something else, so you see it, yes, it was good, no, it wasn't, make another one. You know, so those parts don't end up on the car, and I end up with crap everywhere, holy stuff. Just nuts, bro. So we're coming up on the end, dude. I just wanted to show that, you know, even doing all that super chunk, we can still push up. And like, yes, we're hooked in the rear deal right there. We could have jumped across it, but we just slow pulled across this. And to go up where this thing did, like, come on, bro, like, not many rigs possible. So I don't know what angle we can hit going up, but I don't have another rig that can do what that just did. Savage. So freaking good, dude. And then I missed the line right here. And what do you know, bro? You know the saying. You know what's about to happen, dude. I missed it. And we're going to tell you, flip, freaking homies. I hope you have a great one.